All right, we are live on Facebook. Hi, everyone. We're also going to be going live on Instagram. I'm going to be doing a podcast episode, which I do usually on Mondays and Thursdays, but I thought it'd be super fun to do a live stream and then post the live stream onto the podcast. So I am live on Instagram, I'm live on Facebook. Let me know if you are tuning in. If you are here, drop me a comment, say hi. I'm going to be looking up at my phone, which is in my ring light, as well as down at my laptop. So if you're wondering what's going on, it's because I'm live in multiple places. So if you are brand new to my world, my name's Kelly Dawn. I'm a business coach, and I work with new coaches who want to go full time in their business, and specifically purpose driven entrepreneurs, because I'm not here for the people who just want to make a quick fucking buck on the internet. That does not interest me. I am here for the people who have a true heart and soul for the work that they're doing. Those are the people I love to serve, and that's who I'm talking to today on this live stream. So if you have a coaching business, or if you have a desire to start a coaching business and take it full time, you are in the right spot. So this is going to be a podcast recording, so I'm going to do the intro of the podcast in just a second. But if you want to hang out further, if you are on Facebook, you can find me over inside the Ignite Your Purpose community. And if you're on Instagram, you can find me up in my stories all the time. I'm over there at igniteyourpurpose.co. All right, guys, let's get into this with the podcast. All right, welcome everyone to the Purpose, Passion, and Profit podcast. My name's Kelly Dawn, and today I'm going to be talking about the one question to ask yourself if you want to grow your coaching business quickly. So what happens with a lot of new entrepreneurs when they come into the online space is they get really overwhelmed because there's a lot of stuff you can be doing to grow your business. In the online space, there are multiple strategies. There's lots of different things that you can be doing to create a successful coaching business. But because of that, a lot of people get super tripped up thinking that they need to do all the things all at once. And I was definitely there myself. I remember when I first got online, I was downloading every freebie, all the PDF guides, like the 10 steps to go full time in your business. I downloaded all of those. I watched all the webinars. I would stalk people on social media who had coaching businesses because I thought at the time that if I just watched what they were doing, I would figure it out on my own, and I would figure out what they were doing in their business. And as a result, I ended up getting really fucking confused, super overwhelmed, and I would just spend most of my time journaling. And I would write out the different things that I thought I would be doing in my business. I got really clear on like my business vision, what I wanted my ideal day to look like. But then beyond that, I would just get stuck because there were so many different things I could do. And I was afraid to take action. I really thought at the time that I had to figure everything out and that I had to have all of my ducks in a row before I could actually put myself out there. Because for one, I didn't want to look stupid. Like I didn't want to fuck anything up. And also I thought that if people saw me doing things and then I changed, that it would look really bad. And I'm here to let you guys know that this entrepreneurial journey, it is filled with change. It is not a straight path. So it's perfectly okay to go out there, take messy action, and figure things out as you go. But the one question that's going to help you grow your coaching business quickly as you take that action is, what would my next level self do? And this is a term that gets tossed around like confetti in the online space. And if you're in the coaching industry, you might be absolutely sick and tired of hearing that term. I get that. But the reason we talk about your next level self is because that's the version of you need to be tapping into, tuning into on a consistent basis if you want to create any kind of change. Because we can't keep doing the same thing day out and expect things to be different, right? That's complete insanity. I think that's an Einstein quote. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is a definition of insanity. Obviously, that's not the exact thing he said, but something along those lines, right? But that's what a lot of people do. So to use an example, I love using health examples and tying that into business. Let's say you want to get fit and healthy, but right now you are scarfing down McDonald's every single day. Well, if you're acting as the current version of you and you want to get healthy, you want to get fit, you're going to need to make a change. But you can't just set the intention that you're going to get healthy. You can't just sit on your couch and watch YouTube videos, like workout videos, or read fitness magazines. You know, back in the day, I used to love Oxygen magazine. That was like the big fitness magazine that I used to read. And I'd flip through that looking at all these fitness models while eating fucking Twinkies. Like, doesn't really work that way, right? That's not how we create change. But so often people in their business think that if they set the intention They set the intention, they light some candles, they get their crystals out, they're going to set the intention that they're going to have a successful full-time business. And then they watch a lot of training videos, or they take courses, or they follow a lot of people for inspiration. They think that somehow through like osmosis or some fucking shit like that, change is going to happen. But you can't keep doing the same thing day in and day out. And another thing I see all the time with new coaches, and this is something that I say with so much love because I used to do the same thing, is you're sharing inspirational content without letting people know what it is that you do and who you are. So those nice little light fluffy quotes that you see floating around on Instagram, those little motivational quotes and things like that that get passed around and passed around and passed around, if that's what you're posting and you're telling yourself that that's how you're being visible in your business and that's going to help you attract clients, I'm here to say with so much love that it's not going to work. It is not going to work. And I see a lot of people who have been doing this for a very long time. There are a lot of people who have been doing this, the same thing, day in, day out, when it comes to how they're showing up online, because they're acting from their current situation, right? They're just doing the same thing day in and day out, thinking that somehow that is going to change things. And of course, being consistent in your business and showing up regularly, that contributes to your success. But what you need to do is tap in and ask yourself, what would the next level version of myself do? What would she say on the internet today? What would she be doing in her business today? And this is where a lot of us don't want to do the thing because it can be really scary. It can be super scary to share something that's vulnerable or to share something that's polarizing. But those are the things that are going to move the needle forward in your business. If you're a coach sharing inspirational, like little graphics, that's not going to be it. That's not going to be the thing. I remember back when I first started my cleaning business. For those of you who are brand new to me, I started a cleaning business back in 2013. That's how I took the jump into entrepreneurship. I had things planned out in my journal. I knew what I wanted to do for this business, but I ended up literally like leaping into entrepreneurship with only $160 in sales lined up. And I was absolutely terrified. But I knew the next level version of myself back then, that person was running a full-time cleaning business. She was living in an apartment that she loved. She was working full-time, doing the work that she loved. So I had to take action from that place in order to create that reality. I couldn't just dip my toe in the water and think about starting the business. I couldn't just dip my toe in the water and kind of half-ass things, right? Because I'm not that type of person. I'm a very black and white, kind of all in, all out kind of person. So I knew for me personally, the right move was to make that leap. And I'm not suggesting that anyone up and quit their 9-to-5 job to start a coaching business without any clients lined up. I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just saying that was my journey. That's part of my story. And I know for myself, that was the thing that really lit a fire under my ass. But my question for you today is, what would your next level self do today? Would you take the course? Would you hire the mentor? Would you share that vulnerable post on the internet? Would you share the polarizing thing? Would you start the podcast? Would you do the live stream? Would you create your first YouTube video? You need to be doing those things that stretch and expand you, even when they are super, super uncomfortable. So if you're feeling this, let me know. Drop me a comment. Let me check in, see how you guys are doing. I'm not seeing any comments on Facebook, but I know sometimes the Facebook gods like to hide comments, but that's cool. That's cool. I see people on Instagram. Hi guys. Hello, hello. Okay. So that is basically what I wanted to share for you or with you today. I know it's kind of short and sweet, but I really, really invite you guys to tune in and ask yourself this question, not just once. I don't want you guys to sit down with your journal and just ask yourself this question one time. This is a daily thing. This is a daily thing that you get to do if you want to create growth in your business. And this is the thing that's really going to expand you. And like I said, I totally get how scary this can be. I remember back when I started my other podcast, it was called the Rich Witch Podcast. It had a different name back then when I first started. But what would happen is I would tune into my bigger picture vision. This is something I talk about all the time. I just did a training over inside my Facebook group called Ignite Your Business, where we go really deep into this. So if you want the link for that, let me know. It's totally free. We talk about the big vision a lot because we need something to align to. And a few years ago, when I was doing this work, I would envision myself, my next level self, living the life that I wanted to be living back then and having the business that I wanted to have back then. And every single time I tapped into this vision, I had a podcast. And that vision would come through. I would see the image. And every time I did, I'd be like, oh, fuck, I don't want a podcast. Because I had tried podcasting, I think it was 2 times before. I had a show called The Mystic Entrepreneur, and there was another one. I forget what it was called. Unleash Your Inner Magic, I think. which is the name of one of my old programs as well. But anyways, I had tried the podcasting thing before, and back then I had a very strong, loud story in my head that said I couldn't have a podcast unless I was interviewing other people because I couldn't speak and I couldn't talk for more than 2 minutes. So there's no way that I could actually have my own show. So back then, I would interview other people, and I didn't love that. As much as I love hearing other people's stories and hearing about people's journeys, being an interviewer is something that I'm just not cut out to do. And so every time in my vision, when I got this idea to do the podcast, I would shut it down. I'm just like, no, not going to go there, not going to do that. It just doesn't feel comfortable. I've done it before, but it kept coming up and coming up and coming up. And finally, I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to start the show. And that show took off really, really quickly. I was up to about 20,000 downloads within the first 6 or 9 months. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it grew quite quickly. It was pretty successful. And it was just me talking. I did a couple interview shows back on that podcast, but most of the episodes were just short, probably, I think like 15, 20-minute episodes with me riffing on something to do with manifestation, magic, and witchcraft, and the things that I used to coach and teach on back then. But that podcast, guys, was like the thing that ignited my business. I had a business up to that point. I'd been coaching for a little while. But when I stepped into that next level version of myself and started that podcast, things fucking exploded. I grew my Facebook community. My business did really well. And I found my groove. I really, really found my groove through taking that aligned action. And that's the cool thing. Like, when we go within and we ask ourselves these questions, we never know where it's going to lead. Right? We never know where that answer to that question is going to lead us. But as long as it's in alignment with the bigger picture vision that we have for our life and for our business, it's never going to steer us in the wrong direction. We're always going to be doing something that's really meant for us because it's in alignment with our values, our mission, our purpose, and all of those things. So my homework, I guess my invitation for you guys today, if you're watching this or if you're listening to this on the podcast, ask yourself this question every single day. What would my next level self do? And then go and do the thing. All right, guys, I will leave you with that. I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.